So not many know how to stream with OBS. This would be a guide on how to set OBS up and stream on Twitch, depending what type of connection you have, and I will be showing you guys how to do that here on this video. So first of all, with the new OBS, they've added a settings button here. Either if you could be using the 32-bit version or the 64-bit version like I am. I'm using the 64-bit version. I like actually streaming in 720p because a lot of users can't view 1080p if they don't have a good enough internet connection. So basically, if you have the connection to stream out 1080p, someone watching you won't be able to watch it in 1080p. And they can only be watching it in like 340 or 480 or something like that, and they'll get like bad quality. That's why I suggest streaming in 720, because that makes bigger difference towards your viewers that have lower internet. And I'm not sure if this is correct, but it seems to work pretty good when you stream in 720 instead of 1080. So we'll get into the settings here. These are just basic settings. I used to use different settings a while ago, but then I started changing stuff. So if you're just recording a normal gameplay video, the best settings, like if you're not going to stream, you're just going to record. You're just going to record a gameplay. The best settings to do is either 700, 850, but you should, for the best quality, if you're doing 1080p or 720, you want to go 9000 by 9000, sometimes 9000 by 10,000, because you'll get a less buffer rate, so your videos won't look all blurry when you're moving and stuff. But I usually go like this when I'm just recording like that. If I'm actually doing a live stream, I go sometimes 25 by 3000. So that the footage doesn't look blurry. You can only go up to 35,000. For right now, I think that's what you can only go up to, but it's easier to do it by 2 to 3, because there's no point in, if you don't have a high enough internet for 3,500. It's better to stream it this way. You can also go 2,000 by 2,500 if you wanted to, which will make a big difference towards lower internet viewers. So we would save that, but right now we don't really need to. So that would be your default if you had a 2,500, a 3,500. Like, let me just like take it here. You had 3,000 upload speed, or 10,000 upload speed. This would be the best setting right now for your internet to run with Twitch. Now the next thing is the audio for the encoding. ACC is probably the best settings right now. 40, you can either go 41.1. I forgot to change it, but yeah, 4.18K HDs, or you can go 48K if you want. 128. And you can either do either one you want, it doesn't really matter. But I usually just put it on stereo, and then I go 192. You can change it higher, but there's really no point. Then we got all your Twitch settings here, live stream Twitch. Pick a server that you're close to. So if you do a speed test to like East New York, if that's where you live near, if you live near like one of these other places here, do a speed test to that location. See what your speed is, see how fast it actually downloads and how fast it uploads, and you should have a really good Twitch stream. Just make sure you follow all these. And also, if you're recording a video to your file path, make sure it's mp4.mp4, because if you save it as the other format, it doesn't read correctly with your computer if you don't have the codecs. Like I said, encoding. This will also help where you can now record. You can also start a stream and record a stream at the same time. So this will help you record and stream at the same time. Therefore, your videos won't look blurry and stuff. Even though it is a low quality, but it still does the job. Now we got video. Now, if you have a graphics card, make sure you have it checkmarked. If you want to downgrade your picture to the 720p option, make sure you go custom. Type in whatever your monitor size is, or it might automatically already be there. Go 720p, which is 1280 times 720. Now, if you just want to go normal, you just click monitor, or you just custom base and then go none, and then just change this to 30. Keep that on fastest. You want to disable the arrow. And we go to audio. If you're recording with a program like HD PVR or some capture device that has a millisecond delay or whatever, you want to go 250. Now, this will not actually pick up until you start recording or until you start live streaming. So it will look really bad and like really blurry, and not blurry, but it will look really out of sync until you start streaming. So people that are watching your stream will see it perfectly, but you will not see it perfectly in the window that I'm like hovering my mouse over. So yeah, 250 is where you want it at. Keep that like that. You can also do a push to talk, but I would suggest not pushing to talk. So now we're coming to the hotkeys where you can use push to talk if you want. Like I said, I don't use it, so I don't even know what that would be changed to if you wanted to delay. I guess it wouldn't really matter. You could probably keep it there, or unless you don't want it to delay the talking part. Now we're coming up to here. Now, if you have a really good CPU and a really good graphics card, you could probably just go, use all your threads on your CPU. You can also go, like you can do whatever you want here, but I usually just put normal. Put your buffering scene time to 400. Disable this one. You can also enable it. You can have it enabled if you want, but I'd rather it be disabled, because when you're previewing, it doesn't encode. So therefore, you're not lagging your computer and encoding and previewing at the same time. If you just want to preview before doing stuff. So now, checkmark this one. Now, if you have a really good computer, put it on medium. But I suggest not actually playing the game and live streaming at on the same computer, because it doesn't really. That's only if you're really going 60 frames. Which we're only recording at 30, so I suggest doing it on like very fast or fast. Main encoding profile, you can also choose high if you want, but I haven't really stress tested that yet. When I get a new computer, I'll be able to try out some of the other options, but right now I use very fast because my computer's not as good. But even though it is an 8-core PC, it's still not as good to record with and play games at the same time. That's why I only really record Xbox right now. So then we got use CFR, make sure that's checked. You have to change this to 2. The key interval seconds thing, that needs to be 2 if you're streaming to Twitch. Automatic low latency mode, make sure that's checked, and then just hit apply. We got the I haven't really messed around with any of these settings, so there's no point. There's tons of stuff in here that I haven't really messed around with, but there's probably certain stuff you could, if you're a coder or something, you can mess around with that. Now here's where if your mic's picking up background noise, like mine is, you might actually be able to hear the background noise right now because I have this checked. But let me just uncheck it there. But anyway, so as your noise rises, you'll see that I have a lot of background noise here. I have to wait until I get like a better setup to put my mic in. But yeah, this is where it comes into play, where if you've got noise background, so if you got like this much noise background, you're going to want to bring it down to about there. So like if your noise background's here, you bring it down there, and then you'll bring this probably up right about there, because your noise will hit here, your voice will hit here, and it actually might go higher, but then your noise will stop here because it won't allow it to get through. So if I were to go like, so I go to right where the noise starts, just to peek over, and then I go up to right about there. You see how my voice comes up above? If I go down more, the noise goes down more. It just like fluctuates through here and doesn't go past. Only my voice will go past it. So you want to have it like this. This is pretty good right now for what I'm doing. Let me just get off that. So as you can see, once you do that, your voice will sound a lot more better, and there will be no background noise. Alright, actually, I should say better than it was before. But you'll probably be hearing the background noise just because of that, what was going on there. When you're in there, you actually get your background noise because it's not actually rendering it yet that you've put the noise blocker in. But once you put the blocker in, you should be good to go. And I think that's about it, actually. Let's go over a few things here. So, like I said, this right here will be when you're live streaming, and when you're not live streaming, go 85. You can go 85 by 9,000, or you can go 700 by 85,000. And that should be pretty good for a good high quality video. 7,000 by 85,000, or 9,000 by 10,000. Like I said, I'm recording in 720p with 30 frames. Sometimes I used to record with 15 frames, but I changed it to 30. Because my computer actually, for some reason, likes to run on 30 frames instead of 15 now, for some reason. Anyway, okay. So the next step of this will be, we will be using, let me just close that. The next step of this will be using OBS. OBS and, what's it called? ArcSoft. Called ArcSoft Showbiz. It's my program that I use to, it's the program that I use to capture the HD PVR that I have, and to capture like Xbox and stuff like that. So what I usually do is I bring this down here, because I don't need the whole page here, and I click the capture button. Now I do have a secondary screen that it pops up on, which that's where it would pop up on my secondary screen. Let me just drag it over here. Okay, here we go. This is not actually what it would look like, because I don't actually, okay, hold on. Let me just turn on my Xbox so that it actually renders it better. Refresh. I might actually have to open it, close it again, but I'll give you guys the settings in this too. Okay, so that's how it would look. Now, the first thing we're going to do here is we're going to go into this. We're going to add a video, no, not a video capture device. I was thinking something different. I'll show you how to add like webcams and stuff later. So we're going to add I think it was not a game capture, is it? Yes. Okay. So I think it's a game capture. Now, you want to go for the capture module one. You want to stretch the image to the screen. You want to click do not capture mouse cursor, so that when you put your mouse cursor over it doesn't do it. But right now, I'm going to capture the cursor, just so I can show you guys the how I do it. Okay. Once you do that, just hit apply. Look, wait, I think that was the wrong one. But right now, for what I'm going to show you, if it works. No, okay, it didn't work. Okay, so remove that. That didn't work. It is underneath monitor capture, I believe. No. Top one. Window capture. Okay. So it's underneath window capture. So you want to check mark capture module. Uncheck the capture mouse cursor button. But for right now, we're just going to leave it clicked. As you can see now, I can stretch it across the screen. But one thing that I wanted to do was show you how to do. I'll show you how to do that after. But right now, I want to stretch it across the screen so you guys can see better. See it better. So now that you guys can see that better, but we don't actually have to capture with this program, because this program here will give you way more bigger file sizes than what I'm doing in OBS here. So as you can see, I put the input resolution at 1980 720p. That's what I'm kind of recording at. The audio is AAC 2 channels. It doesn't really matter what the audio is actually. Just the only thing that matters is the encoding rate, because the encoding rate will affect what you see here in the box. So first thing you want to go into is device settings. You can mess around with the brightness if you want. I don't really change it that much, but there's the settings for the brightness. Now you hit format settings. That actually does not format your device. So you hit it, you get at this thing here. Now we come to this. You start off on this. You click here. Let me just show you guys that. Okay, so now we'll have, just make sure these are all checked as source. This one you won't be able to check. Well, you shouldn't be able to check that one actually. Make sure all these ones are checked as source. Depends what type of TV you have. If you have a 720p TV, you should be able to uncheck. Okay, so this one here is 1280 times 720. So you just want to keep doing that all the way across if you're recording in 1280. If not, just click source. Here you're going to be wanting to check mark 30 frame rate. So do that for all of them. And you don't change anything here, I think. Just make sure yours matches mine. So we got 48K in. Like I said, you can go 48K if you want. You can also go 44.1K. Like I have both checked anyway, so it doesn't matter. And 192. So it matches up what's in OBS, which is great. I'm pretty sure that's it. Just get all the settings here. Then we're going to come to the encoding bitrate for the actual device here, but that doesn't really matter because we're not actually going to be recording with this. The only thing we want is the quality from it. So the bitrate's going to be this and this. Just go boom, 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 and make it constant. Now, we don't change anything here. We do not change anything there. We do not change anything here, but I think we checkmark this and we go stereo. And you can make it go auto if you want, or checkmark whatever you have in OBS, which is 44.1K or 48. And then we go to video properties, which will pretty much be automatically constant bitrate probably. And then we go apply. So, okay. So now that that's done, so now that that's done, you're wondering, oh, how do you get the box, right? And this is how you do the box. You won't be able to actually see me do the box because it doesn't actually record that, but I'm actually moving it with my mouse. You want to get it as close as to where you don't get any of the gray lines, like you see here. It doesn't show any of the gray lines. And it should stretch out straight across into the window perfectly, as you can see there. Did I get part of the gray line? I don't think so. I think something just screwed up with it. Yeah, there's a line here. I'm not sure if that's just the Xbox doing that or something else. But anyway, see how my mouse is now clicked to it. You can also turn that off by, like I said, going in here and unchecking the mouse cursor button so that when you do put your mouse over top of it, it doesn't show up, which is pretty cool. Now we're gonna go back to the desktop here. As you can see, this just stays on my desktop like that. It has to be. If you throw it down, it doesn't actually find your game window, so you need to have it up. And as you can see, that's why I put this here, so that this is not in the way, and then I can move this over here, over like that, put the chat box here so I can read the chat. And like I said, there's a reason why in settings I went to let me just throw that back up so that you guys can see this better. There's a reason why in settings I go to there's so much stuff going on here. So there's a reason why in audio I make a 250 delay, because this program here is on a 5 to 4 second delay, I guess you could say. So 250 will make it so that your voice is synced up with the video. Now for the final, so we can't actually do that. Let me just window capture. So what I'm going to do here is I can't actually do that. Hold on. Why can't I do that? Anyway, you guys can see this okay. Add the, what is it called? Damn. I really forgot what I was going to do here, but let's just see. Okay, yeah, video capture device. So you can name it whatever you want. So what we got here is the webcam that I have. Your webcam should be listed here if you have one. Sometimes they don't actually show up for some reason. I had to like install certain drivers to get mine to show up. As you can see, this is here, but this doesn't actually work as a webcam capture device, so it does not work. So like your HD PVR will show up in here, but it doesn't actually work. So here we're going to select your webcam. We're going to actually flip the image, I think vertically. I'll have to see what it shows up as after. So like I said, this is good because it matches you already. I go 1280 by 720, and you go 2000. If you're using a background, make sure you select your chroma key and just go green or whatever type of background you're using, and select the color. And you'll be able to do that by hitting there like that, and then but once the video comes up, I'll show you how to do that. You leave everything else the way it is, and your webcam should pop up here. Right now I don't have lights on, so you won't be able to see what I'm doing. Yeah, that's what the webcam will look like. You can resize it whatever you want, however you want, and you'll have your game up like this, and your webcam will be like all over the place. Image. So if you want to add like a background, so you go right click image. Right click your images. Where did it go? Okay. So as you can see, I have an image up now. So I'm gonna browse. I'm actually going to find the image that is that it? I don't know if that's it. Okay, that's it right there. That's the one that I use. Okay, so my Xbox is a little weird. If your Xbox isn't active, it does like a weird black screen, which is really awkward. I'm trying to do a video here. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so that's my like face cam thingamajig that I made. So we can put the video inside. Also, it's better to uncheck your video cam and then do it, because then you're actually sizing it to where you want it on screen, and then when you recheck it again, it should automatically just stay the size that you just resized it to, but you can't actually resize it to that with it actually checked, which is kind of weird, but that works. Okay, so we got the image up first, video cam capture device, and that's where your video would show up. I mean, that's where your face cam would show up, right there. You can put it wherever you want. I suggest putting it on the left side and putting everything else on the right side. And if your text is upside down, try flipping it this left side. So I think it's vertically. Might be wrong because I haven't really tested that out yet. But anyway, that's how that's done, and hope you enjoyed this video. And there'll be way more content coming in the future.